Hey there, welcome to episode 7. We are talking about calendar use and time management in a little bit of a different approach today. And it might be a bit of a tricky approach. It might feel a little bit heavy. It might ask you to think about things you maybe don't really want to think about. So, one of the things we love about recordings is that if it's a little bit too much, then you can certainly pause, save it for later, and come back when you're feeling a little bit more ready. So when you look at time management, capacity management, energy management, all of those pieces, and it comes down to like what's on your calendar, what's taking up space in your calendar, what are you feeling like you are able to prioritize, what are you not able to prioritize, and your calendar always feels stuffed, right? Like the sock drawer that really needs to be purged that you're trying to close it, but it just won't quite close, and there's little bits of socks hanging out here and there. Your calendar feels like that, yes? And if that's the case, I'm not going to talk to you about time blocking. I'm not going to talk to you about reorganizing that. I just want to ask you one question today. And that is it possible you continue to fill your calendar with so much stuff to avoid doing other things that you need to be doing or addressing other areas that need to be addressed? So sometimes we stay in the busyness as an avoidance mechanism, as a coping mechanism for some other really difficult areas. And if you find yourself, let's imagine we're doing, working on some sort of project. So maybe it's something around your house or a business project. You're working on that particular project and running through your mind during that really busy time, that really squashed full calendar time working in that project. You're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm so looking forward to when this is going to be over. I can't wait until whatever the date is that you have to submit or you'll be done. My goodness, I just can't wait. And then as you start to see a little bit of space opening in the calendar, do you automatically smush something else in there? And if so, why? Have you spent time thinking about that? Because I've worked with a lot of folks that actually kind of at the end of the day, when we're talking about how to better manage your time and block our time and make space for this and make space for that, and there's something that they know they're not dealing with. Maybe it's a really tricky relationship. Maybe it is a particular component about work that they really know it's time for a change. Who knows what it could be, right? Maybe it's a doctor's appointment that they actually need to make because they know underlying there's something going on with their health that they really don't want to address. And we just keep busy to avoid what we need to address. And, it's one of the reasons sometimes folks have difficulty sitting in silence, because all the things that you have been, sort of covering with busyness and your brain having to go from this thing to that thing and this thing and that actually says, oh, okay. And then the things jump up, those other difficult things. So I want you just to think about that, right? And you don't have any action items. Well, I guess your action item is to think about that, but you don't have any, you don't have to take a calendar and do any work in that today. And this is a really quick episode because it is a heavy question. Notice what your calendar looks like. Notice if you're jumping from one project to the next project, even though you couldn't wait to have more time. Here's another question for you. When you're like, I can't wait to have more time. I wish I had more time. What would you do with that time? And one of the reasons sometimes we just jump to the next thing is because we don't actually know, right? I don't know. Maybe there's something that actually needs to be addressed. And I'm like, I'm just not ready for that. I'm going to jump over to the other thing. And there's no judgment here. It is to say, if we're struggling with something and we want to move through, around, over the thing to get to something different, we've got to look at all those possibilities. So what might we be doing or not doing, not dealing with, doing instead, that sort of thing, right? That really might be taking up time. And the symptom of that is that your calendar is completely smushed all the time, packed full, day and night, all the time, leaving you feeling really frazzled and overwhelmed, and you actually don't have time to deal with the thing, whatever that thing might be. Okay, so percolate on that question. Why is your calendar so full? Are we stuffing things full to avoid something else? And if you'd like to chat about, that something else and have a little bit of coaching support through that, because probably if you're spending a lot of time reacting to filling the calendar, making sure you don't have downtime, that something else is probably pretty big. So reach out, Deanna@DeannaLangfordCoaching.com, and let me know how this question from today sits with you. We'll see you soon.